Shepherding Sam by Melinda Johnson. Chapter 1, Part 1. Saucer the corgi came to the monastery on a rainy day. Each time a raindrop fell on his pointed ears, he bounced into the air and shook his head so hard his ears flopped like windshield wipers. Saucer came from a nearby farm where sheep were once kept. His parents and grandparents and great-grandparents were all sheep-herding dogs. But now the farmer was old, and his children had moved away. He could no longer keep the new litters of puppies with no more sheep to herd. Saucer didn't mind. He was too young and frisky to be sad for long, and he was a hopeful puppy. Every morning when Saucer woke up, he rolled onto his back, waggled his paws in the air, yawned so hard that he lolloped over sideways, and jumped up full of hope. "Arf! Arf!" said Saucer to the world. "Arf! Today I will finally be a herding dog." The farmer brought Saucer to the monastery gate and handed him over to Sister Catherine, who took care of the nuns' small animal farm. "Goodbye, little feller," said the farmer. His gnarled hand rested on Saucer's furry head. "Arf!" said Saucer, licking the farmer's hand. "Hello, Saucer," said Sister Catherine. Saucer licked her hand, too. She set him down on the grass and watched him frolic with the raindrops. Sister Catherine smiled. Just then, the refectory door opened and a group of nuns came out. The nuns all wore long black robes and black head coverings. They were all smiling, all moving together in a group. Saucer bounded across the wet grass, barking joyfully. He raced around the nuns, nipping their ankles and the flapping hems of their gowns, butting their legs with his head, urging them to follow his lead. "Lord have mercy," cried Sister Catherine. "He thinks the sisters are sheep." The nuns began to laugh, and the soft chorus of voices sounded like "Bah! Bah!" Saucer took a bite of the lead nun's black robe and pulled hard, looking up at her face and waggling his ears encouragingly. "Oh dear," said Sister Catherine to herself. "Sisters," she called, "can you step away from each other and stop could you keep quiet for a minute? Saucer's confused." The nuns tried to stop laughing. Sister Anna stepped away from the group. "Arf!" Saucer raced between the nuns and pounced on Sister Anna's feet. "Here, Saucer, here!" Sister Catherine chirped loudly and clapped her hands. Sister Anna shook her head. "We better just stand here and pray." It took several minutes to convince Saucer that the sisters weren't sheep. Even when Sister Catherine picked him up and patted his back in a soothing way, Saucer's voice said plainly that he wasn't convinced. "Those are nuns, little corgi. Nuns, not sheep." "They look like sheep to me," said Saucer's face. He barked one more time, having the last word. "Come and see your house, Saucer," suggested Sister Catherine. Saucer gazed up into her face. Sister Catherine was tall, with long fingers and long feet, and God had made her face in a smiling shape. Saucer also had a smiling face. Most corgis do. He reached up to lick Sister Catherine's chin, and he grinned at her as she carried him down the path to the animal farm. There is only one path at the monastery. It runs along to the door of every building and the edge of every garden. Sometimes the path seems to travel in circles, but there are no breaks in the path and no dead ends. You need only stay on it and keep walking to reach the place where you need to be. The path starts and ends at the church door. It winds down a gentle hill, curves around the tidy rows of vegetables sprouting in the garden, and swerves over to the parking lot. Coming back into the monastery, it rolls around the apple orchard and passes a wooden fence with a squeaky gate on its way to the nuns' quarters. The animals live inside this wooden fence, and whenever someone opens the squeaky gate, every animal welcomes the visitor. It sounds like this: squeak, click, ba, ba, quack, quack, ee-ah, buck, buck, woof.